Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to this Wednesday episode of Blunt Force Healing. The number of the episode is 451, and as you can see, very similar to yesterday, we still have amazingly quiet, albeit slightly breezy morning here in Donegal, Ireland. You can see a lot of spells of rain coming over Donegal Bay, but overall it's very dry. It's a bit chilly. I think it's probably about 3 or 4 degrees lower than yesterday, so quite a drop in temperatures, but still above zero, so no frost or anything like that. As you can see, my beautiful face still not shaved, although I have to take care of it today. I don't want to show myself like a bloody redneck somewhere, especially that tomorrow we are still set for that car pickup, so I guess last day and a half of using our current one. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it will manage until I get to Dublin and the swap will be fine. I got confirmation yesterday about the price and all the finance, so all is good. I only need to take my ID with me. They have all the details in-house, especially that we use that particular vendor for probably a good couple of years. It's the 4th car that we have from them, so this will be 5th. So they know us well, we know them well. We never had any issues with the cars, and this one is first that actually shown some signs of potential problems. But again, instead of pumping money into repair, we are just swapping for newer one, more economic, hopefully, albeit diesel, so for some people it might be difficult to digest, because I know that some people think about diesel cars as dirty or whatever, but to be honest, if we look at the emissions of the cars nowadays, I think that some people stayed in the past and they still consider cars to be as dirty as in 60s or 70s, when we are long way ahead of that. And some of these cars, new diesels like this one for example, in Ireland they measure the emissions of the cars, and based on the car's emission you are entered into specific band of road tax. So the more emissions, the more you pay in Ireland. So if you have a dirty car, you are done dirty by the government and the revenue. So they basically charge you for being dirty, and current emissions level for that diesel, that particular model, is probably one of the lowest emissions I ever had, and I had only petrol cars in the past. So just to give you an idea, for petrol cars that I used to pay annually about 500 plus euro for the road tax based on the level of emissions. And electric cars, for example, have the lowest band, obviously, because they have no emissions, but they contribute to use of energy. So obviously it's not a zero footprint, and they are around 120 to 160 euro. And the hybrids are around 180. My current one is 180. So just to give you comparison, that diesel that I'm getting now is in a band of 190. So it's similar to hybrid in terms of emission. So very low emissions. I have clean conscience of using it, especially them huge nature lover. So that would be not very cool for me to use some dirty car, or the car that doesn't have any means to limit the emissions. So that's it, and I will be adding more shortly. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, I am back, and this is the second segment, if you do not consider me splitting the first update into 2 separate videos. And it will be fairly short. Again, I want to keep up with more dense, I would say, episodes or segments where I don't mumble too much or don't brag or moan about certain things, and do not diverge from the topics too much. If you feel like you still like me dragging, well, maybe not dragging, but actually going into longer polemizing, or actually talking about different things for a longer period of time and sharing my opinion for longer than 30 minutes, then I'd appreciate your feedback on any channel. You can do that either on YouTube or on any other channel. In fact, I think Spotify allows for Q&A. I try to do something there every time I post the new episode. You can see on Spotify there is a Q&A, I think. So I always ask a custom question now for about a couple of episodes already. So I'll try to do that and keep posting, keep asking you certain things that might help improve that podcast, because it might be good to make it more concise for newcomers, but maybe for those of you that like to listen or read more and have enough time and, I would say, curiosity to listen and sacrifice your time or spend your time on this, I might consider more of a closed circle of, I would say, dedicated listeners and readers, and maybe drop some separate bonus content somewhere, so you can, whenever you have time, so you can delve into that and consume more. But for now, I need to squeeze that and compress it a little bit more and provide mostly the updates. It will be easier for me to produce that content and make it more of a quality, I would say, for newcomers and for existing readers and listeners, so you can quickly digest and be up to date. So today was quite unusual because I woke up first at 5 a.m. but decided that I can still get 1 more hour out of sleep, so I switched the alarm to 6 a.m. I woke up at 6 a.m. and then I decided that maybe half an hour or 1 hour more, so I stayed up until 7 a.m. when I woke up and got to my tasks. It's 3rd day of my detox, so 3 days without sweets and coffee. I did my hot chocolate today as a drink rather than, regular sweet. As I said before, this is allowed, but I didn't touch any, I would say, solids. No, not even sandwiches with Nutella or anything like that. Yesterday it was the same, just hot chocolate and a bit of honey in my tea, and that's it. So I feel good. I feel actually great. It is a little bit tempting to drink coffee, but I prevail, and I already reached 5 minutes, so I need to hurry up slightly. I'm going now to pick up Julian from school. Not much happened today except for finalization of the pickup tomorrow. So it is now, unless something big happens or something unpredictable happens, tomorrow I leave Donegal around 9 or 10 a.m. and I am hoping to be in Dublin around 1 to 2 p.m. sign the paperwork, make sure that everything is in order, and assuming that everything goes smooth, I expect within 1 hour, 1 hour and a half max to have the new car with me. So I will be reporting on that. Hell yeah. If you're not interested, that's fine. If you are, then you're there for a treat. It is quite an aggressive red color, so I'm not sure how will we manage, but to be honest, we used to have pearl red Mazda in the past, so it's not like we never had a red car, but most of the others were not very bright in color and were not so visible, I guess, on the street, but this one will be. But this is again 3 Series diesel. I hope it will serve us good, and both Elizabeth and Julian like it from the pictures, so that's the most important part. I like if the car looks good, but the more important is for me that it's reliable and it drives decently, has a good acceleration if I need to react fast, and it listens to whatever movements I do immediately, so any taking over or things like that are immediate, instant, and safe on the road. So that's about it for today. I won't be bothering you too much anymore today, but tomorrow it seems like an interesting day, at least from the car perspective, so expect a nice updates tomorrow. For now, thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great rest of the day, afternoon or evening, wherever you are, and see you.